kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Now this is the first of what I hope is going to be a brand new regular feature on the channel. This is going to be my roundup of the month's motorcycling press, or at least my opinion of it. So stick around, stay tuned, this is more crap than news. Okay, so actually for this first more crap than news, I've only actually got 3 papers. Obviously normally there would be 4 papers. Unfortunately, went on holiday this month and I left one of the papers at the airport, so that's why I've only got 3. But in the future there'll be 4 editions. I'm only going to pick out 1 or 2 stories that catch my eye from each edition, just to show you some of the stuff that's piquing the eyes of the press in the UK this week. Okay, so just to start off, just to go through the headlines. The first paper here, Ducati back on top, reflecting on the Austrian Grand Prix where Ducati won again. The second week's paper, Cal strikes gold. We'll talk more about this. This is Cal Crutchlow winning the Czech Grand Prix. Amazing news. And then the third one, there's surprise, surprise, an interview is with Cal is the headline. So it's very much sort of sports based on the headlines this month, and I guess that's because it's August, bit of a quiet month everywhere, isn't it? Not just in the motorcycle world, but in business generally. So yeah, I'm not a huge motorcycle sports fan. I used to follow MotoGP quite closely, but since it moved to BT Sport, it's been much more difficult to watch. So I'm not a huge follower, but great news that Cal has managed to win. So get onto that in a minute. So what story did I pick then from the first week's paper? Well, this big sticky note will take me straight there. It's this. Now, I don't know if you've come across this before, but this is the new Ducati SuperSport 939 that broke cover at Ducati World Ducati Week last month, and it looks loosely like a Panigale, but a sort of a touring version of it. Ducati actually say that it's definitely not in the Panigale family, but it has a sort of passing resemblance in looks, and it's designed to be sort of a road-based bike, or tuned for the road rather, so it's not stupidly powerful, but it goes well enough. It looks nice, I don't know if you can see this little picture here, but it looks a bit like the Panigale. And all in all, it's great. It sort of marks Ducati's return to the sort of super sport class, if you like. So that's going to be their sort of take on a sort of a sporty touring bike in the future, so looking forward to seeing that in the flesh when it properly breaks cover. 939, size of the engine. Although it looks Panigale-esque, it's got the engine out of I think not the Multistrada, the Hyperstrada, I think. Yeah, the Hypermotard, sorry, the test distractor from that. So it's going to be an interesting bike. Look forward to reading the reviews. So that's the first thing that caught my eye from that paper. And then from the next week's paper, a couple of stories here. First one, again, sorry, it's Ducati again, but this really looks fantastic. This is the Anniversario edition of the Panigale, the 1299. In fact, I like it so much, as you can see, I've actually got it as my screensaver on the screen there as well. Now, this is an amazing bike. This is brought out to celebrate 90 years of Panigale. Of Ducati racing. I think the paint job is fantastic. I mean, it's basically just a top spec Panigale. It's the 1299 engine. It's got the fancy Marcianese wheels. It's got the super duper titanium pipe from Akrapovic. It's got the electronics from the Panigale S, an Evo version of that, so even those are slightly adapted. It's got the fancy Odin's semi-active suspension. Basically, it's just a beautiful sports bike, amazing looking machine as well. But I think it's about 24 grand, something like that. Let me just check the price. Yeah, 23,995 is the price. So yeah, an amazing bike, but so it should be for that sort of machine. So yeah, that one certainly caught my interest. And then the other story that I've just marked up here is, of course, Cal Crutchlow winning the Czech Grand Prix. First time in 35 years that a British rider has won the Premier Class motorcycling. And I mean, that is just an amazing achievement. Beat the likes of Valentino Rossi. Absolutely amazing to see Cal there. I thought he was gone when he moved over to Ducati a couple of seasons ago, but he's bounced right back and it really is making history there. The fact that this didn't make the news at all in the UK press generally, I just think is amazing, because the last time this happened was back when Barry Sheene won the 500 class, I think in 1980 or 83, something like that, but it was a long time ago. So this is a big deal for motorcycle in the UK. Didn't make the news whatsoever, other than in MCN, of course. So that's that for the second week's paper. And then last but not least, the headline here, Cal has an exclusive interview with Cal following that classic victory, so we talked about that. And then the other story that I picked out here was basically a review or a pitting together of these 2 great British bikes, the new Triumph Thruxton and the Norton Commando. On paper, very similar sorts of bikes, both kind of street fighter-ish cafe racer bikes, if you like. Both amazing machines, I'm sure. But really, it's a bit of an unfair comparison, I think, because the Norton is a low-volume hand-built machine, and very expensive, whereas of course the Triumph is a mass-produced machine and much more reasonable value. And I think the conclusion was that actually the Thruxton is the better bike. I say that, let me just check. Actually, having just reread the verdict there, they're kind of hedging their bets in MCN and basically saying it's it's up to you which one you choose. They're both great bikes, so that's that's fair enough. But I just raise them because they are nice looking machines. But the Norton, of course, is more expensive at nearly £16,000, whereas the Triumph Thruxton R is 11,700. So for £4 extra, is it really worth it? I love the idea of owning a Norton, but actually it's still kind of I'm not sure the technology is there compared to the Triumph. So. Difficult one. Anyway, it'd be interesting to hear your comments on that. Okay, folks, so that's it for more Crap the News this month. Just wanted to point out I'm not affiliated to MCN in any way. If you want to find out more about the stories I've talked about, then get yourself a subscription and have a read. Okay, until next time, this has been the Messenden Flyer. Cheerio.